Hi everyone, I'm Jamie. I may be taking a break from playing DVD at the moment, but there was no way I wasn't going to make a video on this developer update because some big changes are coming to DVD very soon. Maybe enough to bring me back, I don't know. But let's see. Let's see what happens. So, yeah, basically that's just introducing the developer update. The first thing we have is the Survivor Activity HUD, which is basically a little indicator that'll show up on your teammates' icons and your own on the HUD, and it will basically just show your teammates and you what everybody is doing. So, like this Adam is, I think, looting a chest. I don't know what that symbol is, but the Vittorio is cleansing a totem, and it shows it there. I don't know if there's an indicator for if you're being chased or not. I think they said beyond actions, we have added a new indicator to signify that a survivor is in a chase. Okay, so they are doing that. Okay, I wasn't sure, but like, it doesn't look like they've done it yet there. It looks like it's kind of still in production. But anyway, this should be a really good change for solo queue. Like, these are all the things that it will show you, like what your teammates are doing. So that's repairing a generator, opening an exit gate, healing, mending, and recovering, cleansing/blessing a totem, searching a chest, and killer specific actions like snapping out of it, waking up against Freddy, stuff like that. So this would be a really good change for like solo queue in general, because you'll be able to like see which of your teammates are doing gens. If somebody's on the hook, you can see who's going for the save. It's like, yeah, so it's a really good change. It's like, I would have liked like base kit Kindred, but this is kind of a base kit Kindred. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is, imagine a scenario where, like, say, let me just get this up. Okay. So imagine a scenario, this person's on the hook right here, and you're on a gen right here. And this person is also on a gen right here. And this person is, I don't know, being chased by the killer. There we go. So that person's being chased by the killer. You two are on gens. You then are waiting to see if this person goes for the save. They don't go for the save, so you go, and then they go, because they're like reacting to you being on a gen, so they're going to go for the save. When you both see that each other is off the gen, you go back, and then you keep doing that until somebody finally goes for the save. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. Like, I'm a bit worried that, you know, they'll be kind of like, oh, are they going for the save? Are they going for the save? Are they going? I don't know. Like, and that's like the kind of thing that base kit Kindred could avoid. But it's still a good change. It's still a good change. I'm not saying it's a bad change. It's still a good change. I'm just a little bit worried about this kind of backwards forth effect kind of thing. But it's a good change. It's objectively a good change. I'm just worried about those little awkward moments where, you know, you just don't know if the person's going for the save or not, and they're doing the same thing with you. But yeah, other than that, it's damn good. It's damn good. It's like, it's coordination. It's what solo queue has needed for a long time. It's what Swift has always had above solo queue. And now solo queue will have a little bit of that. Like, not too much, but just a little bit. And it'll bring solo queue and Swift closer together, which is what we need. It's very good. It's very good. Very good change. Very good change. The only problem is like, if, say, like, I can see people taking this, like, sorry, another problem I can see of this is people being assholes about it. Like, say you're on Midwich and you're really struggling to find a generator. So it says for a while that you're doing nothing. Like, you don't have any indicator on. But you're just looking for a generator. So, and then like in the end game chat or like messaging you on console or whatever, they're like, why weren't you doing a general game? We were all on gens. Why weren't you doing a gen? It's like, I can see that kind of thing, like people using it to be assholes, but it's a good change. I'm like niggling with it, but it's a very good change. It's a very good change. I'm very happy about this. This is going to be awesome. Survivors won't be told what you're doing. Survivors will not have this, which is no brainer. Like, why would they give killers this? Yeah, just to bridge. Yes, to bridge solo queue and Swift. But yeah, good change. Good change. I think it's a good first step. I would also like base kit Kindred on top of that. I just think Basic Kindred would be just so good. Like without the killer aura reading part, just the seeing each other when you're on the hook, when a teammate is on the hook. I just think that'd be so good. But that good start, very good start. I've rambled. Never mind. Updated wiggle mechanics. Okay, so they're basically removing the wiggle mechanic where you hit skill checks rather than just hitting A and D. Used to be like a beta. Like they were gearing up to making it like proper in the game. And now it seems like they're doing that. They're putting it in the game. It's been removed from the betas tab. A and D is gone. Yeah, we're moving on. So they have removed that if you hit great skill checks, you'll be able to get off the killer's shoulders quicker. It was only by a second, but they've removed that. I don't really know why, but okay. And they've given it that when you hit great skill checks, you get a kind of boil over effect where you make the killer wobble into walls a bit more, which is fine. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. And if you hit good skill checks, they get like a iron grasp effect, I think. So you want to hit the good skill checks. They've also made it easier to hit the great skill checks. But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one because honestly, I kind of just thought they wouldn't go for anything like any changes with this. I thought they'd just put it out as it is because it seemed fine. But fair enough. Yeah, whatever. And also, they've added a new sound for non-attempts. So when you don't want to wiggle, when you just want to be hooked, when you just want to die, or you just don't want to wiggle, you want to let the killer do their own thing. Like, say you're on mid-witch and, you know, you've admitted defeat, but the killer is getting fucked by the RNG of mid-witch and there are just no hooks about, so you stop wiggling so they can get to a hook because they've won, they deserve it. You won't have to deal with anymore. So that's just amazing. Thank fuck. I hated that. I hated that so much. And they've also made it so when you hit decisive strike, the wiggle skill checks don't come back straight away, because that was a bit confusing when you hit decisive strike and you still get the wheel showing up, and it was confusing. It made me feel like I'd missed all the time. Yeah, so that was a weird one. But yeah, that's now not going to happen. It's going to take a bit longer for the skill checks to come back. Right, the nurse. I needed a sip of tea. The nurse. So basically, they have admitted that the nurse is OP. They've admitted that the nurse is the strongest killer in the game by far, and that a good nurse can run through survivors like they weren't even there. A good nurse can annihilate basically any team. that is just how nurse works. Even in comp games, like, you know, tournament games, you fully expect a nurse to get a 4K every single game. And it's just up to the survivors to see how long they can survive. Like, we all know this, and the devs have acknowledged that the nurse is, you know, by far the strongest killer in the game. Now, to remedy this, they have done a change that people have been calling for a long time. It's that her blink attacks are now special attacks. Basically, what this means is that they won't activate perks that require basic attacks. So, like, being exposed, for example, when you're exposed, you are only one hit down from a basic attack. So, you know, prior to this change, like, if a Blight had Haunted Grounds and you popped his Haunted Grounds and he charged at you with a lethal charge, then you wouldn't go down. You would only go down if he followed you normally and then wanded you. And now the same thing will apply to the nurse. If you're exposed and she blinks towards you and hits you off a blink, then you won't go down. She has to normally M1 you, which is basically impossible for a nurse because she's slower than the survivors. So basically, Starstruck, No Ed, Haunted Grounds, Make Your Choice, Sloppy Butcher, all of those perks are basically useless on the nurse now. They don't work anymore, which is on one hand good, because, you know, these perks, particularly the Starstruck Agitation combo on Nurse, like, was ridiculous. Also, I just thought it just come to my mind. Hopefully, now with this, they'll reverse. What do you call it? The perk, Awakened Awareness. Hopefully, they'll reverse the change on that, because the main problem with that was that people would pair it with Starstruck Agitation on Nurse, and then they just kill everybody. But now they can't do that. Can we have Awakened Awareness back to the way it was? But it's still very strong on Nurse, though. I think that's the problem. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Basically, this will make a lot of perks removed from Nurse viability. You just won't be able to use those perks on Nurse. They won't make sense. So I'm a bit worried that nurses, knowing this, will gravitate to more annoying perks to deal with, like perks that just make the game last longer, like slowdown perks. So instead of a nurse with Starstruck, Agitation, Awakened Awareness, and Pain Res, for example, you will have a nurse with Pain Res, Dead Man Switch, Call of Brine, and Eruption. You know, because they've got less perks in their perk pool, and if they still want to win, they're going to go for the strongest perk. They're already playing Nurse, you know. They like there are people who just like Nurse. To be fair, there are people who just like Nurse, but a lot of Nurse players just want to win, and they're going to go for the slowdown perks now that they can't use these perks, which is a good. It's weird. It's a good change. It is a good change to Nurse. I'm just a bit worried that nurses are going to go the other way and start just running for slowdowns rather than just running Starstruck Agitation. But we'll see. But an objectively good change with no downside is that they are removing the ranged add-ons. So basically, Nurse had add-ons that would make her blink further, and they're getting rid of those. The Nurse's maximum blink range has been replaced with a completely new effect. So they're not even. I did put down there that they're nerfing the range add-ons. Like, I put a little summary down in the chat box, but it seems like they're just removing it entirely. They're just removing it completely. So yeah, they're removing the range add-ons, which is objectively good. The only thing I'd also remove is the ones that make her blinks come back faster. I'd probably get rid of those as well, because I can see that without maximum blink range, good nurses would just stick on the recharge add-ons, and then they'll just blink more rather than blinking further. I'd probably get rid of those as well. She doesn't need them. Her blinks come back faster than any other killer with a power that has to recharge, like tokens. Hers come back faster than anyone else's. Like, Wesker only has 2 charges, but it takes his ages to come back. Whereas one nurse blink is already back in the time that she's fatiguing. So, yeah, I don't think she needs recharge add-ons. Her recharge is already ridiculously fast. So, yeah, I'd probably get rid of those. I don't know what these are. Like, they might have already done this. I might be preaching to the converted. But, yeah, so they are changing these, but I don't know what these are. I think, aren't these the iridescents? I really hope they're nursing. They're nerfing 3-blink nurse again, because Jesus Christ, that was. Well, why did they put that back in? Like, so dumb. So, Eerie of Crows. They have they've also I'll talk about the night shit. I fucking hate the night. Anyone who's watched any of my streams like since the night came out knows how much I fucking hate this pillock. I haven't even put it in the thing because I don't think this is going to make any difference to how people play the night. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Like, basically, what they've done is, like, basically, like the problem with Knight is that people play him, basically, go back to Trusty Paint, people play him like this is the Knight, and this is a Survivor, and they're chasing the Survivor, and the Survivor gets to, I don't know, any loop, just, I don't know, that's a loop. They get to like any loop, and basically then what the knight will do the second they get to the loop is that the knight will be here, the survivor will be like running through the pallet, getting ready to do some looping. The knight will drop a guard just straight away, and the survivor will have no choice but to run away and just hope that there is a connected loop somewhere here or anywhere else, because this loop is now unplayable. You can't play against 2 killers at once, so they have to run away. If there's not a connected loop, the knight will catch up before they get there and hit them. If there is a connected loop, then the knight they'll just go into another loop, they'll wait for their power to recharge, and they'll drop another fucking guy. And it's the same fucking thing every single loop with the knight, and it's horrible, it's painful, it's not fun to go against for either side, because it's the same fucking thing every single loop. And that's the main problem with it, because that is the most effective way to play him, because he's dog shit. And that is the most effective way to play him. Because at least it, forces survivors to not loop. It's not even that you force a hit, you just force them to not loop. They have to go somewhere else. I literally did a chase a while back. I can't remember. It was probably just the last time I played DBD. But I just held W. I didn't even look backwards. I just held W. And I did like a 1.5-minute long chase, and then he lost me. I didn't even look backwards. Because you don't need to. It's completely brain dead. I hate the knights so much. But basically, what they've done is they've made the orb that survivors see. Because when the knight puts his power down, a little orb comes out. You don't see it very often because they just drop their power in a millisecond. But basically what happens is that an orb comes out, and it lays out the path that the knight is going to send out a guard. So basically they're making it so that orb disappears when the path is longer than 10 meters. 10 meters isn't much, so the orb will disappear very, very quickly. But like you think about it, a survivor runs 4 meters per second. So that's about, 2.5 seconds of a survivor running? So, it's going to disappear pretty fucking quickly. So that will make it so that the survivor doesn't know exactly where the guard's going to go, which is good. The only problem is they're still just going to run away. And if they're in, it's just the same thing. If you're in a corner, the knight is going to kill you, because there's nothing you can do against the knight when he gets you in a corner. If you're in the open, you can just run. It doesn't matter which direction you run in. You're always going to outrun the guards because they can't catch up. If you run in a straight line, the guards cannot catch up at all, ever. Well, not ever, but they don't chase long enough to catch you. They are technically faster than you, but they don't chase long enough to catch up. So all you have to do is run in a straight line. The knight is still. He just stays still over there. And you can outrun the guards. It doesn't matter where you run. Just run somewhere. It's just it's not going to change anything, because that's not the most effective way to play the knight. The most effective way to play the knight is just to drop your power and keep on chasing. Just drop a guard, shut down that loop, and keep on chasing. He needs to be completely redone from the ground up. This isn't enough. It isn't enough. There is a second effect that after you create a path longer than 10 meters, the knight will gain the haste status effect for a few seconds. The longer the path, the longer the movement speed will last. But it's not going to be enough, because, so you create a path longer than 10 meters, you get the haste status effect for longer when you make a path. Survivors run at 4 meters per second, you're completely just stock still, you're not moving a bit. So you're going to need a fucking hasty, you're gonna need a fucking massive haste status effect to catch up, and I don't think they're gonna give him that. So yeah, I really don't think it's gonna change much. The guards also will spot a survivor and begin chasing faster depending on the length of the patrol. They're trying to incentivize creating long paths, but the problem is they've made a killer where it does not benefit you at all to make longer paths. They've made a killer that's supposed to be based on building long patrol paths and stuff, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, behavior. You tried. You've put a lot of work in. I appreciate all the changes that you've tried to make. But honestly, this killer does not work. He needs tearing down and rebuilding from the ground up because it's you can't fix this. He's fundamentally broken at his core. And yeah, that's my opinions on that mess. But yeah, moving on to the Eyrie of Crows. They have nerfed one of the most survivor-sided maps in the game, which is good. Very, very good, because this map is ridiculous. So basically, what they're doing is, currently, the Eyrie of Crows is a rectangle, so it takes ages to get around the map and, patrol gens and stuff. They're shrinking it down to a square, which, yeah, much better, much better. Just shrinking big maps is always good. Always good. You know, as long as they shrink it substantially, which it seems like they're doing, because it's a long rectangle right now. They're making it roughly a square. It's not like RPD where they took a massive rectangle and made it into a slightly smaller rectangle by about a few centimeters. They seem to actually be doing some substantial changes. They've also made it so several new tiles have been added to the map, like this one right here at the bottom of the screen, which just looks like just a pretty normal pallet loop. Looks like, you know, killer could like mind game to drop the pallet. It looks playable. Looks nice. Looks playable from both sides. Like, it's got a short loop, a long loop. Looks pretty good. It's like one of the car loops on Autohaven. Looks pretty good. And yeah, additionally, they've made it so maze tiles, like jungle gyms and stuff, spawn further away from the main building and the shack, so you can't loop it together. Because that was one of the big strengths of Eyrie of Crows, where you could basically just link together the whole map into one giant loop. And yeah, if it was a good survivor, you couldn't catch them unless you were like Nurse or something. But yeah, very good changes. Very good changes. I wish they would kind of hurry up with nerfing some of these more problematic maps, because Garden of Joy is still a train wreck. RPD still exists. You know, they are fixing these maps, but they're releasing new, somewhat even shitter maps while going back and fixing the old ones, but they're doing it at a slower rate. So they're just making more shit maps, but not fixing them quick enough. You know, it's a problem. And also they're going back and just a little side note, they keep going back and changing Autohaven and Macmillan. Like, they keep adding, like, maze tiles and all this other shit. It's like, those maps are fine. Don't touch those maps. Those maps are great. Leave them alone. Fix the newer, shitter maps. Stop adding, like, maze tiles and shit from Ormond and Yamaoka into old maps that were already fine. Leave them alone. Just a little side note, I hate that they keep doing that. Cool. The in-game challenge tracker. Very simple. I really like this. You'll have a challenge. It'll tell you where you are with it when you're in-game. So, if you cleanse 4 totems, then you need a 5th. The thing will tell you that. This one looks like Liberator, so it looks like they've got 2 safe unhooks. They need a 3rd. Very simple, very good. I like it a lot. This is basically just so you can go into other killers while you're waiting to queue up as killer, so you can spend blood points in other killers, but you will always go into the match as the killer you originally picked. So yeah, it's fair enough. Pretty good change. And you can also see the archives in the store while searching for a match, which is very nice. Very nice. Because there's so many times when I've just been like in like a Swift, and I've wanted to just like check the store for cosmetics while somebody's like finding while somebody's like just doing blood points or whatever. But like we're already readied up, and I don't want to like unready to just check the store, and now I won't have to. So yeah, solid. And they've also finally, thank the heavens, made it so that Merciless Killer, Ruthless Killer, Brutal Killer, and Entity Hungers are tied to how many kills you get, rather than the emblem system. So Wait, okay. When in a double pip, you earn a merciful killer result corresponding. So these are just like these are just the titles that appear. These won't be pips, I don't think. I just had to read that again because I've already read this. That's why I'm kind of like summing things up a bit. So a double pip earns you a merciful killer and then the corresponding adept killer achievement trophy. Unfortunately, this means that as your grade increases, it becomes harder to earn these achievements. Since the emblem system has transitioned to a monthly ladder, it no longer makes sense for the results to be based on them. Okay, so basically, it's not going to give you pips. I was a bit worried at first that because they changed merciful killers just 4 kills, then you double pip for just getting 4 kills. So, you know, infinite tombstone Myers, like tombstone piece and shit like that, would just be rank 1 in like a day because they could just 4K every single game. But it doesn't seem like it's been like that. You still have the pipping system. It's just that the merciless killer, ruthless killer won't be tied to that anymore, which is fucking brilliant because the adepts for killer were nightmare compared to the survivor ones. Survivor, I'll just escape. Killer, play perfectly. Do everything. And yeah, no, not that. We're not about that. 4K for adept, solid. Love it. Perfect. You just have to go in and get a 4K. You're not going to be like hamstrung that you can't use your power. It's not going to be incredibly difficult to get Plague and Bubba's adepts because, you know, their power contradicts the emblem system. It's not going to be that anymore. You're just going to have to get a 4K. Excellent. Oh yeah, they're also making it so for non-licensed outfits, you will now be able to buy most of them. Yeah, all non-licensed outfits will receive an option to purchase with iridescent shards. Perfect. That's how it should be anyway. I don't know why they made it so that non-licensed outfits would need to be bought with auric cells. Like, yeah, good change. I'm glad they're finally implementing that a bit more. And they banned a shit ton of cheaters. Thumbs up. Fucking hate cheaters. So yeah, that's good. They're good. They're making loads of strides towards banning more cheaters. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good developer update. Not bad. Survivor activity HUD, good. Updated wiggle mechanics, good. Nurse changes, good. Night. Area of Crows, good. In-game challenge tracker, good. Gameplay improvements, good. Missing, good. So mostly good, and the night. So yeah, those were my opinions on the developer update. I'm good, good times. But the night exists. Just delete him. Honestly, just tear him down and rebuild him from the ground up. I've said it. You know, I said it earlier, but I think that's the only way to do it. I think he's broken at his core, and he needs fundamental changes. That's about it. That's all I can say for the night. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Still going to be taking a bit of a break from playing DBD, but, you know, maybe I'll do discussion videos like this. I just burnt out. I haven't actually said anything on the channel, on the YouTube channel. I've explained it all in Twitch, but yeah, basically I'm just feeling burnt out. Need a break. Playing some Stardew Valley. Yeah, having a good chill time. It's been really good. We just play Stardew, hang out. We had somebody in chat yesterday just telling us loads of facts about Canada, and it was really fucking interesting. I just like just hanging out with y'all while I just play some Stardew. It's a really chill time, and I would heavily recommend coming to hang out on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays over on twitch.tv/JamieIsStrange. So yeah, hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you in the streams. And yeah, much love. See you soon.